Letitia James is out here doing the most, and she's doing it while being under federal investigation for the alleged mortgage fraud, facing calls to be disbarred, and could owe $1.1 million per violation if a civil case goes through. So what does she do? She picks up her phone, writes a mass fundraising message, and signs it Letitia James, New York State Attorney General. Like I said, she's under investigation and still using an official title to collect money. Obviously, you can't make any of this up. I'm gonna break this down for you because this isn't just about sloppy politics. This is corruption dressed up as a campaign endorsement. So let's back up real quick because this story, it intersects directly with what we talk about on this channel for the last couple of weeks. Who is gonna be the next New York City mayor? Talking about Eric Adams. And it's not just a political question, it's a battleground of power, influence, and integrity. And Letitia James has made it crystal clear she got her favorite. That's what we're talking about. And she's willing to break the rules, break norms, and possibly break laws to make sure that her pick gets the crown. Now remember, she's supposed to be the top cop chasing the bad guys. She's supposed to be chasing other people for fraud with the mortgage fraud allegations, the insurance fraud allegations, a bar complaint trying to get her disbarred, and a DOJ criminal referral from the Federal Housing Finance Agency. And just when you think she's about to go low key, maybe shut up for a second, stops basically confessing on camera, lay low and act like you respect ethics. Nope, she hit send on a fundraising message like she was a political influencer doing a promo job. She didn't sign it as Letitia, private citizen. She signed it like she's still up on that moral high horse. New York Attorney General Letitia James. Here's why this matters. This wasn't just an innocent vote for my friend message. This was a campaign fundraising solicitation for the New York City mayoral campaign Adrian Adams, who, by the way, is reporting gearing up to run for mayor just as Eric Adams begins to signal more independence from the Democratic political machine. And Eric Adams is pretty much, I think he's done. I don't think he's gonna be mayor. So while Eric Adams is starting to move independently and challenge the party norms, Letitia's endorsement of Adrian Adams reads like a counterpunch from the establishment. And then this is how crazy New York City is right now, especially for the race for mayor. Meanwhile, Governor Andrew Cuomo, who resigned in disgrace, is somehow polling as the favorite, despite being under DOJ investigation for mishandling nursing home deaths during COVID.
Andrew Cuomo is now under federal investigation.
That investigation stemming from Cuomo's testimony during the pandemic.
But tonight, just a month from the mayoral primary in which he is the frontrunner, the New York Times and now the Associated Press report the Trump DOJ has done just that. Republicans claim the former governor lied under oath during testimony before Congress last summer, when he said he hadn't seen a state report that undercounted the number of nursing home deaths during COVID, when in fact later reporting suggested he had written parts of it. You know, Cuomo has been under fire for years regarding his handling of nursing homes during the pandemic, when he required assisted living facilities to accept COVID patients coming from hospitals. Thousands of vulnerable New Yorkers died in their nursing homes.
Is there anyone else that want to be mayor? How is everyone having problems with the feds? It's crazy. It's like a TV show, a federal crime drama where every candidate has some kind of rap sheet. Letitia's backing of Adrian looks more like an attempt to install someone more loyal to the establishment, someone who owes her. Letitia is using her taxpayer-funded title and credibility, lack thereof, to help raise private campaign money while under active federal investigation. So you can look at this message right here. It's New York Attorney General Letitia James with the exciting announcement. I'm officially endorsing Adrian Adams for New York City mayor. So far, okay. But then it gets spicier right here. We need a mayor who will stand up to the Trump donors who is pouring hundreds of thousands into the race to sow chaos. There it is, the Trump boogeyman. Whenever Letitia is in some kind of trouble, she tries to spin the spotlight like a fidget toy. Don't look at me, look at Trump. She ends the message with this real kicker. Can you give today to support her campaign? Signed, Letitia James, New York State Attorney General. Now hold up, you're under investigation for potentially lying on government loan documents. And now you're using the weight of your elected office to ask for money. It's not just unethical, it's pretty stupid. Let's break this down into real terms here. If you are the Attorney General of New York, you don't get to mix your office with personal campaign fundraising. You just don't. There's ethics rules for a reason. Rules that you don't use government titles to boost political campaigns or pulling cash. It's called abuse of office. And even if it doesn't get you indicted, it's the kind of thing that gets you on the front page or disbarred. This isn't an intern mistake. This is not someone posting on her behalf. This is probably a mass text that was written, approved, and sent with full intent. You can't act like you're the queen of clean when you're out there running campaign operations. And you notice Adrian Adams, the candidate that Letitia is boosting hasn't said a damn thing. She didn't say, hey, I don't approve this, or no, we didn't coordinate, not, maybe thanks, but no thanks. She just let it ride. The silence, that's not just weird, that's permission. That's co-signing behavior that violates basic ethic boundaries. But when you are trying to run for mayor, I guess in New York City or anywhere else, you don't really care about that. It's about how much money can you raise. The more money you raise, the more chances you are winning, because the person who raised the most money probably has the best chance of winning. But it looks like for Adrienne Adams, is she really that much of a difference than any other politician if she's allowing Letitia James to raise money on her behalf? Also, here's Letitia calling Adams a leader without scandal or distraction, while literally being the walking definition of both of them. This is the political version of my friend's toxic, but she's loyal. It just shows how deep the rot goes, especially in New York City politics. Think about it. You're running for mayor and your friend was accused of falsifying a mortgage to claim a Virginia home was her primary residence, misrepresenting the number of units in a Brooklyn property for financial gain, signed a document calling her father her husband for legal convenience, and you think about, yeah, this person should definitely raise money for me. This person seems pretty awesome. You would think, hey, listen, I know you mean well, but you have too many issues you're dealing with right now. You don't need to raise money for me. Go take care of your business. But when you're Adrienne Adams, I guess you're desperate and you allow anyone to raise money for you. So like I said, Letitia James is using the weight of her public title to drive some campaign donations while actively being investigated by the feds. But here's some real financial heat. So civil penalties for mortgage fraud under federal statute, like the Financial Institutions Reform, Recovery, and Enforcement Act, that's a lot to say, but these fines can include up to $1.1 million per violation, not just the total, per violation, $1.1 million. If multiple misrepresentations are proven, like lying about her primary residence and falsifying property unit counts, each instance could trigger a separate penalty. And that doesn't include interest, attorney's fees, or restitution. That means Letitia James could be staring down millions of dollars in financial liability on top of whatever the DOJ or state bar throws at her. Also, let's add more problems for her. According to New York's Public Offices Law Section 74, public officials are not allowed to use their official position to secure privileges for others. But James' text message used her photo, a title, and official sounding language to beg for money, to ask for money. There's no disclaimer, there's no pay for by at the bottom, no firewall separating state office from campaign hustle, just a clean pipeline from the Attorney General's name to the campaign donation link. And that donation link, it didn't even clarify who sent the text. The recipient lands on an Act Blue page for Adrienne Adams, a page that disclaims any responsibility for the message. So who sent it? Who paid for it? No one is saying. In New York City, if the text was coordinated and the Adrienne Adams campaign may be required to report it as an in-kind contribution, if it wasn't, it could be an illegal independent expenditure due to the use of James' title and office imagery. If this isn't dirty, it's dangerous because it tells every public official watching, if Letitia James can do it and still keep her job, then why follow the rules at all? That's how this all goes totally to crap. This is how trust dies. This is how the system collapses. If you're going to prosecute people for abuse of power, you better not be out there misusing your own. But I think Letitia James is going to continue to do what she wants to do. Because if you're going to sign your name as Attorney General on a fundraising blast while you're under federal investigation, I have to ask you guys, all of you, do you think this crossed the ethical line? Should public officials be allowed to raise money for campaigns using their official title, especially when they're already being looked at by the feds? Drop your comments down below. Thank you for taking time to watch this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video.